All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Circle of Light meditation. Just kind of get everything set up here. All right. Let's see if it's working in a few places. I think it is. All right. Yeah. Okay. Man, my hair sometimes, I swear. Sometimes it needs a lot of help. I just finished exercising, so I'm just getting myself all situated. All right. I hope you all are doing all right. Never ceases to be interesting, right? I think I need to flip my screen around. There we go. Okay, so it's almost a full moon, I think. I don't know why I woke up a lot last night and I was saying to my husband, I think there must be a full moon because there's a lot of intense energy. So every time I do these meditations, I kind of think about, what would be helpful for those of you who are here listening. And often, what I feel would be helpful is what I'm kind of experiencing myself. And so today I chose as a topic healing our traumas. I always feel like my hair is doing these crazy things every time I see myself in video. All right, just gonna leave it. Just leave it. There's, this is a massive time of awakening, as I talk about a lot, as a lot of you know. And you couldn't sleep last night either. Yeah, right? A lot of intense energy. I was waking, I was like, why did I wake up again? And I woke up again, and I woke up again. Is it the full moon? Okay, yes. Is it the full moon tonight or is it tomorrow? I don't know. But the energy is really intense, and this is a time when there's so much light, there's so much energy that we're being bombarded with, and that can be challenging. And so it's not, we think about, oh, we hear people say like there's so much light that's coming at us, but it's not, I've been using this analogy quite a bit recently. And that is the light, if you imagine a light coming into a room and the light illuminates the shadows. And so if there's a dark corner, the light will shine in that corner and shine upon those shadows. And if you imagine like something hiding in those shadows probably doesn't want the light, doesn't want to be seen. And so it can feel, and so think about that in ourselves. March 18th is a full moon. Okay, it's coming up. That's right. It's in a few days. So we think about that in ourselves. If we have a part of us that we've kind of been ignoring, this underlying pattern or theme, or just the habit that we know we're engaging in, and maybe it's been there for a long time and we've kind of avoided it for a long time. We just put it off, numb ourselves, watch a lot of Netflix, drink some wine, avoid, right? Avoid. Well, the energies with us now are just so much about it's coming right in our face. Full moon in Virgo. You guys are great. I love it. You're so on the ball. So it cannot be avoided any longer. And as I was alluding to before, I think I've shared with some of you, I have had some pretty intense past lives where I was, one in particular that I picked up on really strongly of, teaching people. I think it was, I don't know if this was a lifetime where I was teaching children and the parents thought I was doing evil witchcraft and they drove me out of town and had me or killed me or whatever. Not that it's a victim thing, right? But this one was where I had been doing something and it felt like I picked up on, this crowd was kind of chasing me, and I felt like and I was eventually drowned. And I actually almost drowned when I was a kid, and I was afraid of swimming after that. So sometimes past lives, can repeat in our current lifetime, but then I overcame my fear and I love swimming now. But in that lifetime, I was, they were angry at me for what I'd been doing, and what I kind of did in that lifetime was I said, well, I must have done something wrong. If they're so angry, it must have been something I had done. And I kind of like went in, like took it on, and it really was that they were scared. They didn't understand it, and they were scared. So I've had some recent experiences where that trigger has come up again. And what I know now, and I say this for you to think about this in your own life as well, obviously, right? What I know now from that lifetime is that in that what I did, because you can go back, I do past life regressions for people, and of course I've experienced them myself. And what we can do in past life regressions, and of course you can do this in the Akashic Records, is rewrite the script. And so what I did is in the regression, or maybe it was in the Akashic Records, I can't remember which, I went back to that scene in the past life, and I turned around to the person, I think it was a man, who was railing me out of town, and I said, stop, you can't do this to me. I did nothing wrong. I do not deserve this. You need to stop. And that kind of like standing in my power was, then there was some other people that, kind of like, yeah, you're right. That's not fair. And so my supporters or friends kind of stood up for me. But and this was, again, it didn't happen in actuality, supposedly, but as you all may know, there is really the concept, the time is not linear in the way, in the Akashic Records, and in how our lives actually work. So we can change something, and this is true for current lifetime, our current, childhood. The brain doesn't know the difference between what actually happened and what's imagined. So we can even go back and recreate a memory, and that's how we heal. Even though it didn't actually happen, we can imagine that it did. And like, what would it be like if I had responded that way? What would it be like if, when I was a child, and somebody was, hurting me or bullying me or said something that made me feel really bad about myself? What would it be like if I stood up to them, if I turned around and stood up to them and said, no, you can't say that to me. You can't do that. That's not okay. And that's not true. And we stood up in our power. What would have happened from that moment on, instead of taking on that belief or taking on that? And this is so common, right? We all have this, all of us do. Instead of having that, a story that gets created in the mind of that little child of, well, I must have done something wrong. Why did they leave me? Because of me. Why did they not like me? Because of something I did. So that's, instead of taking on those beliefs, or I must not be lovable, I must not be this, I must not be that, that is what we're being asked to heal. And oh my gosh, I just feel this huge rush of energy and emotion as soon as I said that. Just a lot of guides with us right now. They're just so excited that we're doing this, because this is what we're being asked to do. We have to heal. We have to heal this pain, this trauma, this stuff that we've kind of been pushing back in the corners has to be healed for once and for all. And so I've seen a lot of people experiencing this. That can show up as sometimes when we feel that stuff, it's like, well, what do we even do with that? I think sometimes, and I felt this myself, we just want to sleep. We just want to lie there. It's like it's a lot. And so it's okay to do that. It's okay to rest. It's okay to not have to like, oh, now I got to do this thing, because we get tired, right? And I do believe that quieting the mind, meditation, if you can do anything, that if you're like, I don't know, I can't even manage to get up and take a shower half the time, but if you can do anything to help, anything positive to help further you. Obviously, it could be, just going outside, soaking up the sun, feeling that light in your heart, or sitting under a tree. But quieting the mind is just the number one thing, because it trains you to notice those negative thoughts or stories or beliefs, and to then be aware of them, so then you can separate from them. So, so that's what's happening for me, for many of us. There's a lot of transmuting that's happening. It's happening in our sleep. And so be gentle with yourself. Know that we all are we're doing a lot of work, and holding space for others who are starting to awaken. We're seeing that happen more and more, starting to come through in the mainstream news, of course, through the narratives. I mean, not everywhere, but a lot of people are going to need help. And those of you who are listening, you're here to share light. You're here to support them. It doesn't mean that we've got to have it all figured out ourselves, certainly not. But chances are there's things that you've worked through, and the best way that you can be of service for others is by sharing what's worked for you. A lot of you know I just finished this book my first book. It's so funny to say that. It could be the only one, hopefully not. Tools for the Awakening Soul, a guide to activate your intuition and uncover your life's purpose. And I talk about all this stuff in the book about how to kind of heal from traumas through past lives, through the wounded inner child, how to clear that stuff in childhood, and then do that in the Akashic Records. And it's so important, so healing. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming out soon. My graphic designer is working on it right now. And of course, I'm doing an Akashic Records class. As some of you know, it's filling up. And it starts in a few weeks. If you want to learn how to read your own Akashic Records for your own healing, to connect with past lives, to just kind of get ideas of how to move forward, taking action steps. A lot of times it's like, well, what do we do? What do I do? And, how do I manage this? And in the Akashic Records, you can get that information. So, all right. But we're here this evening and by the way, those of you who are on Facebook, I still haven't figured out, oh, wait, never mind. I see a comment. Just wanted to sleep. Yes, and avoid dealing with it. Great. Sometimes I don't see the comments, but now I'm starting to see them. Excellent. I was just going to say I don't see the comments on Facebook, but it looks like I am, at least now. So, all right, let's do a meditation on clearing away old trauma based on, and how do we know if something is there to be cleared? Well, because you get triggered, right? We get triggered. We feel an emotion. We feel something tight, stuck. It's like, oh, if I feel this intense emotion, that means it's asking to be cleared. So that's how we know. All right, so let's come into a state of stillness and quiet and just go inward and dig in a little bit. Just adjusting myself, getting comfortable. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Just slowly breathe in, slowly breathe out. Letting go of the day, going inward. One last deep breath. Make this a big one. Hold this one. And then slowly exhale out, emptying your lungs of oxygen, releasing from your body any heaviness. And then just breathe normally. Just allow your breath to settle. Allow your body to settle as well. Become aware of your heart beating, of the fact that blood is being pumped through your veins, to all your limbs, through every organ. And feel this vitality coursing through your bloodstream. The breath is flowing in and flowing out, this gentle wave, this gentle ebb and flow. When there's so much uncertainty in the world, sometimes we just want something to count on, something that we know is stable, is predictable. And one place to find that is with our breath. It is always here for us. So just follow the movement of your breath, trace its path, watch where it wants to go in your body. Allow it to move freely. And then I'd like you to bring your awareness to your heart space. And imagine that you are tunneling into your heart as if you're a treasure hunter and you're going on an expedition to the center of your core. And way behind your heart is a little room. It's a hidden room. Maybe it's behind your heart and a little bit below. Maybe it's above. Just notice where is there a place? And maybe it's somewhere else in your body. But where is there a place hidden deep within your body that has been a hidden room that contains information and treasures for you? That contains energy. Maybe it's been tucked away, locked away, buried deep within for a long time. Consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally. And with the help of divine guides, angels, masters, any being of pure light and pure unconditional love, with their support, I'd like you to move closer to that room, tucked deep within your body. And you know that as you get closer on this journey, tunneling in, venturing through the tunnels, through the crevasses, through the twists and turns, you know that there are gems waiting for you, that there are secrets that are about who you are or about what you're capable of that are waiting for you in there. And you realize that as you get closer that you've not ever been here to this place, or maybe if you have, it's been a long time. There's cobwebs. You're working your way through, you're pushing them back, chopping back the weeds, the overgrowth. This has been a neglected and abandoned part of your consciousness. It's actually held in your subconscious, deep within, not accessible to you through your conscious mind. But you feel at your back just this light shining behind you, illuminating the pathway, illuminating the tunnels, illuminating the passages, the hallways. You know you're shining your own light, but the light is from all of these angels and guides and divine beings who are with you, following you. They have your back. They're protecting you, reminding you that you're safe. And the light just flows through your body. You just soak it up and it flows around you, and it almost as if you're translucent and the light comes through your body and out the other side. It's beautiful golden white light. Maybe there's some colors in there. And as you get closer to the room, you feel this sense of just excitement. Finally, you're going to uncover what is here. You're going to discover what has been buried deep within for so long. And you reach the doorway and you open the door and it creaks open. And as you step into the room, you have this instant awareness of what or who is here, waiting for you. And just takes a moment to just observe what is within this room here for you. What do you feel? What are you aware of? Just flow into that energy, remembering that you are safe, that this is for your highest good. And just continue to breathe deeply. This may be an emotional experience. Feel that light surrounding you as you notice maybe there's a person who's here for you and they're sharing something with you. Maybe you're having a conversation. Or maybe there's an object or an image or just a feeling. Just go with what you pick up on, with what floats in. Just trusting whatever it is. Now remember that now that you have discovered this room and what has been held within your subconscious, deep within, that now this has been unlocked. And maybe you'd ask, what can I do now with this information? What actions can I take? Just notice what floats in your mind, feeling, word, image, like something being drawn or written on a blank chalkboard. Just allow it to come in. Now, as you begin to realize that it's time for you to leave this room, you know that you can, now this room is coming out into the open a little bit more. It's going to almost move to become integrated into a part of your body that's more on the surface. It wants to see the light of day. Maybe you move it fully out into the sun, right at your heart. Or maybe you still keep it a little bit tucked in, whatever feels right for you. Just see if you can allow this space to just come out of the shadows and more into the light in some way. As if you're allowing this hidden gem, this buried gemstone that you've uncovered to begin to feel the sunlight sparkling on it, dusting it off, rinsing it off, and just allowing this beautiful light, well, this beautiful sparkle, shimmering luminescence to be seen, to be released. You can come back to this room, to this space, anytime you choose. It will always be here with you. Keep it close. Keep it really close to your heart now. You're going to nurture this place, thanking whatever was within or whoever was within for connecting with you in this way, thanking your guides, angels, thanking the Holy Spirit of God, and honoring yourself, your higher self, and your human self for having the courage to venture here within. Let's take a deep breath. And imagine as you exhale that anything you've been carrying from that room that has not been serving you, imagine it's just being washed out of your body. Just as if there's a huge flood that's come in that tunnel and is washing it away. It's now just completely disintegrating and destroying that old cavernous tunnel where that room once was. It's the power, the strength of the currents of this energy. You're just demolishing it completely. And now you can feel the space in your body. Feeling the sense of pride of what you've done here today. And take a deep breath in, slow exhale, and just bring your hands in prayer position if you like to your heart center or over your heart, just honoring yourself, honoring this courage of what has occurred here. You're feeling that light just emanating so strongly from your heart, surrounding your body, wrapping you in light, giving yourself a nice hug. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back into your body, stretch out, and welcome back. All right. I hope that was helpful in some way. And thanks to those of you who are here with me. I'd love always to hear what that was like for you. It's interesting, right? It's interesting what can come up. I was surprised at not that surprised, I guess, but I was a little bit surprised at what came up. Because sometimes when I just did a session with somebody the other day. We did the worked with our inner child, and she was really surprised at what came up, what her inner child was saying she needed. So sometimes that, we don't know. What was it deep within? You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I hope that just be gentle with yourself. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot of integration with all these energies and a lot of deep soul healing. If you want more support, of course, I do this work with people. I'm going to be offering a slight discount, because I know it's pretty crazy out there right now with all the volatility. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be posting that here on Souls Gathering Together and on Instagram and in my emails and my website. So stay tuned for that discount. Should help ease things up for people. Because past life regression, inner child work, hypnotherapy, just kind of really processing what is it that's there. It can be so powerful, and sometimes it's helpful to have another person do that for you. And then lastly, there's an Akashic Records class, as I've mentioned a few times, starts in a few weeks. It's filling up quickly. If you want, so powerful way to get real deep healing is in the Akashic Records and guidance. So I'll share that link here again. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening, or wherever you are, day, wherever you are. And just thank you for being here and for just being you and doing all that you're doing as a awakened soul, helping to shift consciousness. It's really important work, and it's not easy. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Bye.